What up, though? Welcome to the Supernova Juno Show, episode 13,200. I am your host, Supernova Juno. Today is it's October. Today is October 4th, Wednesday, 2023. I'm out here trying to get the little bit of yard work that I want to do today done. Finish up these leaves out front, cut the grass. And continue with the rest of my day. But I just had some things to say while I was out here. I was thinking about some things to say, and since I can't pull out the pen and pad, I figured I might as well just grab the mic. But for anybody who does see this, I just want to put y'all hit the manifestation and the effects it's had on me in my life. What it is, how to do it, how to maintain it, how to make sure that you're doing it correctly, those type of things. So to my understanding, manifestation is having such a strong desire that you will it into existence. And that could be from anything to love, finances, experiences, pretty much anything you can think of, you can manifest it. But there are certain limitations. Of course, we as human beings are limited. We can't just do anything at any time. But speaking of time, with time, anything is possible. The limit for humans, and I say humans because I can't speak for no other animal. I don't know if they have the power of manifestation or not. And really, I'm just speaking from personal experience. So the limitation for me is my surroundings, my knowledge, my experiences thus far. They put me in a certain mind state to where my manifestation attempts could either be very weak or very strong. There doesn't seem to be a real middle ground on manifestation. It's either powerful or it's weak. And so my method of manifestation as of late, and I didn't even really notice this until I noticed it, which was probably a couple years ago. Really, it was probably like 10 years ago, to be honest. But I've really been on it, of course, like everybody else, since the pandemic. Because when that whole situation kicked off, it really opened my eyes to what's going on behind the scenes in the world. And not just here in America. This is a global thing that's going on right now. And what's going on is people with evil intentions are manifesting. People with evil intentions are manifesting. And that can cause trouble for the righteous folk. And really, you ain't even got to be righteous. Honestly, you could just be a person trying to do good. not really overexerting yourself and not, you know, making your will more important than somebody else's, type of swag. The problem is that people with evil intentions are doing more manifesting than those with good. And I come to learn that manifestation can be amplified in the group setting, meaning that if your desire is strong enough for you to manifest, and will things into your own life, and you share the same beliefs and desires as another person, and y'all get together and discuss those beliefs and desires, over and over to the point where y'all manifesting them into real life. That can be a real problem for people who are not who don't have nothing to do with y'all motives. So basically right now, the world is pretty much in a state of chaos because people with evil intentions are manifesting collaboratively with each other. And most people with good intentions got so much fear in their heart because of what's going on around them that they're denying themselves the power to manifest collaboratively with others because they're too worried about what's going on in their own life versus being optimistic of what could be if they stop worrying, start manifesting more. So this is the dilemma of life right now. People scared because evil wins. But evil never wins. Evil never wins because it's embarrassing to be evil. We all know this. It's a feeling inside you that it's more like weakness. It's like a feeling of weakness, like physical. Mentally, when you're evil, again, from personal experience, when you're evil, you feel strong, right? You do some wild stuff, put somebody down, you know what I'm saying? You make somebody else feel down. Mentally, that makes you feel strong. But when you start to really think about your actions, it takes you into a state of physical weakness. Because you got that moral compass inside of you just like everybody else. You know that evil in all its forms is a weak trait, a weak characteristic. Because you only do evil because you're afraid. That's what evil is. Evil is fear. Nobody does evil when they're not afraid of something. People don't just go shooting places up because they feel good, because they're optimistic about life. These kids don't go shooting up the schools, you know what I'm saying, committing suicide, stalking people online, being pedophiles and all of that. They don't do that because they feel good about life. They don't do that because they got a positive outlook on life. They do that because they fear life. They got some kind of fear resonating in their mentality and makes them feel weak, whatever the case may be. And their defense mechanism is evil. They retaliate on their thoughts with wicked actions. And they don't know how to control themselves a lot of times. And I believe it's mostly because they're not 100% positive of what's going on in their mind in the first place. They don't know. Like, it's like they don't know no better. And so here in America, they say money is the root of all evil. But I disagree with that. Like I said, evil is a byproduct of fear. And not having money is scary, but it hasn't always been a thing in life. Evil has always been a subject of life because of fear. You come out the womb fearful, crying, we don't know what's going on. Lack of knowledge is the root of all evil. Because when you don't know, it's almost like you in defense. You can't play offense when you're unsure of what's going on around you. So evil is a defensive mechanism action or some kind of cognitive move on a person's behalf deriving directly from fear. And so the way to stop evil, since it's a byproduct of fear, is knowledge. Again, people are not just going, Columbine and all these school shootings and stuff like that. They're not going in there shooting these kids up. You know what I'm saying? They're not creating diseases in the lab. They're not building machine guns and rockets and missiles and tanks and guns and ammo because they have a positive outlook on life, because they know what's going to happen in the future. Because when you know, it's like waking up, it's like working 2 weeks at a job and you go to sleep on the night before payday, your first payday. Most people will go to sleep with a smile because they know when they wake up, that hard work that they put in was gonna get paid off in that direct deposit before they even open their eyes. They knew what their actions were. They were confident about it. They were positive about it. So they hopped in bed and went to sleep, probably with a smile on their face. First job, first 2 weeks ever, first direct deposit ever coming in the morning. That was the consensus. You wake up, you see your check, boom. It smiles and giggles. You work for it, you did that. Your actions got you not only in a place of confidence, but in a place of positivity. in a place of reassurance. Because you know you worked them 2 weeks. You know they told you they was gonna give you that direct deposit on this certain day. You did everything you were supposed to do. When you wake up, everything that was supposed to happen happened. So you knew what was gonna happen. If you took that job, you knew what was gonna happen. If you worked in 2 weeks, you knew exactly how much you was gonna get paid. You did the calculations before you closed your eyes. That's the last thing you did. When you reopened them, when you awoke again, you was paid. You had knowledge of what was gonna happen. You had a positive outlook because of your actions, and you was rewarded right on schedule. That's the opposite of evil. Knowing you did what you were supposed to do put you in a place of reassurance. So you good when you wake up. No evil there, right? On the flip side, a person with no job, his rent due in 2 weeks. He got no money. He didn't work at all. No job, no car, no help, no nothing. For 2 weeks, his rent was due. Had that eviction notice like, look, you got 2 weeks to pay this amount. Otherwise, you out of here, buddy. Dude did nothing to stop it. Dude did nothing to change what was coming. No job, no car, no help. The 2 weeks pass. It's the night before the date of the supposed eviction, right? Now, you can have an eviction notice on your door and not get evicted if you take certain actions, right? You can have an eviction notice on your door and have, somewhere else, someplace else to go maybe. You can have options on the back end that make it more comfortable to sleep at night. But when you don't have no options, and you know you ain't do what you were supposed to do, you know you ain't put no work in, you know you don't have no money, you know you ain't asked nobody for help, guess what? The night before, your mind gonna be in a totally different space than that of the mind of the person who was working in 2 weeks, put their hours in, you know what I'm saying, did exactly what they were supposed to do to get what they needed. You see, this guy, on the other hand, they did nothing. They took no action. They sit back and let it happen. And on the night before, their mind was wondering. They was clueless on what was to happen the next day. Well, not 100% clueless. But they expected something bad to happen. They saw the signs. And that's the thing about evil. The signs are always there. We choose to ignore them. The signs are always there. You can see evil. You can see evil from a mile away. Even if you got bad eyesight, you can feel evil. Now, don't get me wrong. Evil is tricky. Evil can disguise itself as good. Evil can disguise itself as positive. Matter of fact, evil is mostly used by those who deceive. Because fear is basically not knowing what's going to happen next. That's what fear is. You don't know. So if fear comes from knowledge and fear is negative, then knowing must be positive. Knowing also comes from knowledge. It comes from experience. It comes from reading the signs. Even if a certain event didn't happen yet, you can still see the signs and tell if it's about to happen. You know, sooner, later, wherever the case may be. So our problem is we ignore the signs and then things pop off. And then we feel like we caught off guard. But you knew. Or you thought you knew what was gonna happen. And sometimes you can get caught off guard. That's how evil works. You see the signs most of the time, or you could be completely oblivious. Or here's a more controversial perspective. You could be included in evil. You could do something evil. And whatever consequence you were supposed to experience from that evil can be delayed. It could be like you do something bad, you know, you kind of expecting to get a certain outcome and it doesn't happen until someone else evil does, or someone else who don't know no better, who don't have no knowledge, also does something evil, and it end up somehow being in close proximity to you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't show genuine remorse, because we all make mistakes. I feel like if you don't show genuine remorse for the evil things you do, even if you don't get punished immediately from your evil deeds, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. You make people feel a certain way when they didn't deserve it, or you know, they ain't have really nothing to do with what you had going on. If you generate the initial evil, feel like you don't get punished, it's gonna come back one way or another. And most times it gets connected to another person's evil deeds. And then you feel blindsided. Because yeah, you know you did some bull, but ain't nothing happened until, you know, this person came around. Whether they in your 7 degrees of separation or number 8, don't matter. Everything is energy, and it can't be dispelled. It can only be transferred. It can't be created. It can only be transferred. Our energy comes from the sun. Once the sun gives us our energy, we can't give it back. We just give it to other people, give it to other things. So you put some evil in the air, you know what I'm saying? The air can't give it back to you. But the air just carry it somebody else, something else. And that something or somebody else can generate similar energy in your proximity or in somebody else's proximity that ends up reaching you. It's like the ripple of waves on the water. Like you throw a rock into the water, you got like the ripples that come out, and the waves in the water. You know what I'm saying? That reaches out until it hits something, and those waves bounce back and reciprocate in the opposite direction. So see, it's like the water. You can't really give your energy to the water. You can release some energy, and the water will carry it to something else. But once those ripples hit something that's also touching the water, it's gonna send those ripples right back your direction. So my advice is, if you're gonna manifest, first and foremost, you need knowledge of what you're asking for. And you need knowledge and understanding to realize whether what you're manifesting, whatever your desires are, you need the knowledge to know whether it's good or evil. And since we were all born with moral compass, all you gotta do is fill it out. All you gotta do is read the signs. It's built internally inside us all. Read the signs. Feel your feels. You'll know whether you're participating in good or evil. So this chaos in the world is just a byproduct of fear. It's a byproduct of not knowing what's next. It's a byproduct of evil being manifested by evil. Now, on the contrary, I said, fear is not knowing. But some people know, somebody don't know. Because you really don't know until you know. And I know that might sound kind of awkward, but it's the truth. You don't know until you know. Right? You can have a they call it a preconceived notion or something like that. You can have a good idea of what's gonna happen after your action. You don't really know until you do it. In most cases. But I've been feeling like lately, these people doing these evil things, they know. They know what they're doing, they just don't care. They're not concerned about the outcome. Well, they are concerned about the outcome, otherwise they wouldn't do it, but they're not concerned about the effect of the outcome. Because if they were, they wouldn't do it. Either that or, they want to see some suffering because of whatever they went through, because of whatever they were taught. So these evil folks manifesting evil because evil was manifested upon them. And a lot of times, it's the parents, it's the direct descendants, it's the teachings, the rituals, the traditions, the family dynamic that keeps evil in heavy rotation. It's just bad people doing bad things. To bad people and good people. When you do something bad to a good person, you putting some bad energy on them. You do enough bad to a good person, enough bad energy, they're gonna misbehave. put enough bad on a person, they will become bad. They will become jaded. They will start reacting to things in a less progressive manner because they scarred now. Like all of this evil energy is going around left, right. We got cameras. Everybody got a camera in their pocket that can make local information, global information in a matter of minutes. Like that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. Before cameras and all of that, it was just people living their lives. Not a whole lot concerned about what was going on around the world. They didn't know anybody that was 1,000 miles away. They couldn't see them. They couldn't interact with them. They couldn't feel their energy. But that changed. It's not the same anymore. We global now. Everybody. You push a couple buttons on your smartphone, you global, just like that. Anybody in the world can see what you up to if you give them access. Right? Anybody in the world can see what you see if you give them access. If you're dealing with pain and fear and evil and not knowing and all of these energies, you know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is hit upload. All you gotta do is hit publish. And now everybody can feel your pain. Everybody can feel that same evil you're dealing with. The energy is amplified through the transition of the visuals and the audio. Audio and visuals hold a lot of energy, right? You got the audio, which is a physical type of energy, because, you know, when the sound leaves an object, it becomes a sound wave. And we can't see sound waves, but they are definitely physical. They're gonna hit your ears physically. And the visuals are more of a spiritual type of energy, because, well, I don't know, maybe it's physical, maybe it's also physical because it's light waves. Yeah, I believe it might be also physical. I know for sure audio is physical with sound waves, but it just makes sense that visuals will also be physical too because of light waves. And so when they hit your eyes, when those beams of light hit your eyes from your phone or your computer or your TV or whatever the case may be, these little idiot boxes we all got, then yes, it hits your eyes and it transfers energy. The things you see, you got a certain perception about, you know, the things you see. You got a certain outlook on life. So if you see something crazy, you can be like, oh, that's crazy. Because of what you know, because of the knowledge. So that's also transferring energy. And now that we can just transfer energy, you know, consciously or unconsciously to anybody, we're dealing with a lot more evil. Yes, the world has always been, as long as people got control of the world, it's gonna be a wild place. It's gonna be some wild things happening. But that's because of fear. That's because of unknowing. And the main thing, this is 100% my opinion, but the main thing that drives fear is the preconceived notion of death, right? Everybody on earth think we got 120 years to live, maximum. Anything can happen between 0 and 120 to take us out early. Shit, you can die at 0. You can die at 0 years of age from who knows what. Anything. When we babies, we don't have this fear. We don't think about death. It's learned. But when we do learn what's going on, that's where the fear generates. And so, I don't know, man. I just feel like the world is in chaos because all the bad boys is manifesting right now. And the good guys so scared and shook up. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to react. So they're not reacting. And that's not good. See, what should be happening is the good guys notice what's going on and they use their own power to counteract it. But the fear is so strong that it's crippling the good guys from being proactive. And so you got evil running the world now. But again, manifestation is just the desire for change. Strong desire for change. And it's a collaborative effort if you let it be. It's stronger when it's a collaborative effort, as a matter of fact. And I've noticed for the past couple of years, you know, when I talk to my guys about what's going on in my life, and they talk to me about what's going on in theirs, we get together and we discuss things, and you know, we discuss our plans for the future and start collaborating and manifesting. Man, it's been proven several times in my own experience. Not only is manifestation real, but it's the realest thing that can happen. Because it's a feeling, it's a desire. And nothing is more real than a feeling. Even your physical experience with life is not as real. And it's not as real than how you feel about it. So for instance, right now I'm cutting my grass, right? I'm outside, it's about 7 o'clock. I'm outside cutting my grass. I can feel the motions of the lawnmower moving. I can feel the gravity pulling on me as I push. I can feel the resistance that the grass is giving my lawnmower. Like I'm experiencing life right now. But I'm only experiencing it through feelings. I feel the wind on me. I feel the heat of a very hot October day. It was 80-some degrees today. I felt the heat. I can feel the wind that gets blown from the cars passing by in the street. This parallel of me. All right? Life is a series of feelings. Like, yes, I'm outside doing all this stuff physically, but I don't really care about the physical world. I care about how it makes me feel. All right? I feel good to know that I have a home to live in. I feel good to know that I can make my home more aesthetically pleasing just by coming outside, raking the leaves and cutting the grass, right? I feel good to know that I got these batteries charging up, preparing me for the next task. I feel good to know that when I'm done, I'm gonna go in the house, roll me one, make a smoothie, drink it, you know what I'm saying, get some other stuff done in my life. I feel good about these things. So yeah, I'm experiencing the physical world, like things are happening, but the only thing that matters to me is how it makes me feel. And there could be a million things wrong with whatever's going on in my life. I could have a million problems right now, but you wouldn't know. You seeing me on camera, I'm not, curled up in a corner crying. I'm not laying in the bed worried about what's happening next. I'm not out committing evil acts, evil deeds, spreading evil energy because I'm fearful of what's happening next. I don't have no fear right now. Because I know, and this is another thing about feelings. You can literally predict the future with feelings. Literally. Right now, I'm feeling good. Cut my grass, rake the leaves. It's a good thing. But something totally different could be going on right now. It could be a completely different experience. I'm not gonna say anything negative. I don't want to put that energy out there. But I know cutting my grass is gonna look nice. Breaking my leaves is gonna look nice. You know what I'm saying? Getting the edger out, putting the edge on this bad boy is gonna look nice. It's gonna make me feel better about what I see. It might not change too much in the grand scheme of things, but feeling good about your present actions can really only lead to positivity in the future. Doing the positive thing, I feel positive. My future looking good right now. So if you want to know the future, make sure you feel good about the present. If you're in a perpetual state of positivity in the present, your future looking good, my boy. If you always happy, always laughing, you know what I'm saying? You got a couple jokes, you let it smile, your future looking good, my boy. And if you got some bad experiences going on in your life, but you know that a change could come, that something different could happen. You know what I'm saying? These bad things don't happen, but it's about how you deal with them. Like I said, you about to curl up in the corner and start crying. You about to lay in bed, roll around, while experiences are happening around you and you're missing out, about to seclude yourself from what's going on around you, about to separate yourself, isolate yourself, try to hide. You can do all these things. But you got to know what the outcome is. If you feel bad about your present, guess what? Your future looking kind of bleak. Because whether you want to accept it or not, the present comes just as fast as it goes. And the future is always coming. It never arrives. But what happens is your present becomes your past just as quick as your present becomes your future. So the longer you stay in a state of stagnation, the longer you stay feeling good or feeling bad about your present, and the longer you'll be either happy or sad. Again, I'm outside cutting the grass. The sun is gone. The sun dropped on me quick. You know, usually I cut the grass in the sunlight. Usually I like to soak in, the energy from the sun when I'm out here. I just came out a little bit too late, so now it's dark. That's cool. Whatever. I don't feel bad about it. I feel good knowing that my lawn is about to look nicer when I wake up. You know what I'm saying? Put the waves in it. Up through tomorrow, put the edge in it. You roll. But the longer I stay feeling good about what I'm doing in the present moment, the longer my happiness is going to last. And if you find a way to find happiness in whatever situation you got going on, your happiness is then going to turn to joy. And joy cannot be taken away. Joy is not a state of being. Real joy is a place you can't leave. Once you get there, you're not going to want to go nowhere else. You're going to fight for your right to have joy. And having joy is just knowing that no matter what, you can still be happy. You might not be happy at the current moment. You might not be happy for a while. But you know if you keep fighting, you keep having a positive outlook, regardless of the present. If you keep striving for a progressive future, you will eventually obtain joy. And that can't be taken away. Nobody could do anything to take real joy away. And that's the power of manifestation, because joy is a desire. Joy is a perception that everybody wants. Joy is knowledge. If fear is not knowing, joy is knowing. When you're fearful, you don't know what's going to happen next. When you're joyful, you know that happiness is going to come back around. You're going to meet happiness again, some way, somehow. If you're fearful, you don't know. You matter of fact, being fearful, basically lost joy. You lost it. You don't know where it's at. You don't know how to find it. You don't know which way to go to get to it. You Not sure. You don't know if you'll ever be sure. That's what fear is. Fear is the lack of joy. When we don't know something, it's not good for us. The main organ in our body is our brain. And what do our brains want? Feel. They want to feel. They want the knowledge of the experience. If your brain don't have no knowledge of your experience, you might mess around and go crazy. You might mess around and go into a state of depression, a state of fear, a state of, evil. Dare I say, simply from not knowing. I don't want that for anybody. I don't want that for anybody, whether they friend or foe. Like I said, the root of all fear is not money. The root of all evil is not money. The root of all evil is the lack of knowledge. You don't know what's gonna happen next. You go into a state of fear because you are a brain. That's your main. Your main function is to think first and foremost. Consciously. We consciously want to think about things. We want to know. We want to feel. We want to have a connection with what's going on. And if you don't, fear will creep in. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is joy. Knowledge is happiness. Knowledge is manifestation. You know you have this desire inside of you. You know it's possible. So you do whatever it is in your power to reach that destination. You tell yourself, yo, I want this to happen in my life. And you mess around and you get it. So the way I manifest is I write. Really manifesting. Yeah, you can have a desire inside your head, but you got to get it out. It's not much use inside your head. What can you do with thoughts that remain in your head and nowhere else? What can you do with that? Not much. It's the actions that come from those thoughts. Right? You start getting active, that's when things start happening. You can sit there and think all day. Nothing happens. Nothing changes. But once you start doing, that's where the change arrives. So manifestation, yes, it's a desire, but desire are only thoughts. It's the actions that come with those desires. And for me, the action of, writing down my desires, letting them be known, letting them be plain. When I write in rhythmic form. Not only do I write, I produce, I make music. I take sounds, I put them together. I use the words that I write and I put them in my mind, I put them on the paper, and then I physically say them out loud. And usually when I write raps, I say them over and 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 over again. I can recite a rap 1,000 times before I'm done with it. And that action of, you know, using the words that I spelled, turning them into physical words and the sound waves, I'm putting a certain energy out into the air. And depending on the words that I choose, that I wrote, that I speak, that energy can turn to, you know, something more than words. 99% of the time they do. So if I write a song right now, if I write some rhymes, and I say, I'm gonna get some money, and I say that 1,000 times, the universe is gonna hear me, right? It's not only about saying it. It's about being proactive with what you say. So if I say, I'm gonna get some money, I'm gonna get some money, I'm gonna get some money, I'm gonna sell this record, somebody gonna love this. You know what I'm saying? I say that over and over again. It's gonna hit somebody, it's gonna go sound waves, it's gonna hit somebody. And we're like, you know, whatever, maybe they start saying it too. Maybe they repeat my words. And now, I got my manifestation being amplified by another person. So I got a certain thought. I let that thought be known. I let that thought be released into the universe. And now all of a sudden, people are aiding in my manifestation. Like I said, it's a collaborative effort. So when I write these songs and I repeat them over and over again, I'm putting a certain type of energy out in the air. And that energy will be returned to me. And that's the main reason I took curse words out my raps. The main reason I try to be as positive as possible. You know what I'm saying? Even with all the negativity going on around me, even with, you know, the situations I have to deal with, not always positive, but I try to find the positivity in every situation. And I include it in my music on purpose. And I repeat my music over and over again on purpose. Because I know that the desires I, you know, that I have, that I let go into the universe through my words and turn into my life. If I write a rap and say I want to be rich and I repeat it 1,000,000 times and I'm doing the actions that could possibly make me rich, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna get rich. If I say a bunch of words that, you know, could have a negative outcome, and I include them in my raps and I rap them over and over again, 9 times out of 10, something negative is gonna happen. So manifestation, very powerful. It's real. It's inclusive. It's for everybody. And
collaborative. Dog was trying to run up on you, boy. So I'm saying all that to say this. Manifestation is very powerful. Anybody can do it. All you got to do is have a desire, number one. Your desires come from your experiences and your knowledge. Number two, take those desires that's in your head, put them out into the world, whether it's music or whatever type of art, or just basically just talking to people, just using the words with feeling and putting it out into the world. And number three, actions. Taking those words and actually acting upon them and actually working towards whatever goals you have of manifesting. So a lot of my goals include, making sure my family is straight, trying to make the world a better place for my son, trying to take my finances to levels where we can escape the oppression that America has bestowed upon melanated men and everybody I'm associated with. I'm really trying to bag up and get up out of America. I'm thinking Africa is a move. But I know that evil exists everywhere. It don't matter where you go. There's no escape from it. And America is my home. But America is predestined to fail because of the way it started. It started with murder and fear and slaughter and lies and deceit and theft and rape, incest, all of these things. Disease. America started terrible, so it's going to end terrible because it's continuing to be terrible because of how it started and who started it. And those same families are continuing to manifest their fears upon the rest of us, and they have become so powerful with their tactics that it's overpowering the good people that reside here, and they're becoming less powerful to fight back. People like me who try to manifest good things for my people and people around me, people that love me, even people that don't. I use my manifestation powers for good and for progress, but I'm completely outnumbered and out manifested by evil here in America. And so I feel it's best for me, my family, my loved ones to leave and not look back and maybe, go elsewhere and generate some more power and maybe come back and change some things. But for the time being, in my mind, America is not the place to be. I don't want to be here anymore. America is super ghetto. And I'm thinking Africa. I'm thinking the motherland. I want to move my entire family to Africa. And I don't want none of us to come back. We don't have to. And so I'm going to keep doing things. And I'm going to keep manifesting. I'm going to keep working towards the goals to, bag up, pro up, touch millions, billions, maybe even trillions. Get us up out of here. Get our minds right, get our soul cleansed, and maybe, my lineage can come back and take America over and make it great again. It really ain't never been great, but the America that we know ain't never been great. The Christopher Columbus era and all that is what they refer to when they say great, but that ain't great. You're not about that great. So manifestation is very powerful. Anybody can do it. You just gotta let it be known. Let your desires be known. Don't hold it in your head. Basically, keep drilling that energy out there, right? Clapping. Clapping is part of manifestation. A simple task like this is part of manifestation. Clapping usually only happens when you're happy. You don't usually clap when you're sad. You might like growl or frown or something. But clapping is part of manifestation because you're letting your positivity not only be seen but heard. So it's physical and it's spiritual. I think the things that we see are spiritual. I think the things that we feel are physical. I don't know, maybe whatever. But clapping is a good way to manifest. And look in the mirror and clap for yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and clap at yourself. All of the things you've done in your life, all of the good things, all of the progress that you made thus far. You might have done some bad things in your life. That happened. Don't reside in a place of negativity. Strive for a place of positivity. Your present determines your future. And right now I'm clapping for myself. Because I did a good thing. I raked my lawn and I cut the grass. I raked my lawn, cut my lawn, it looked good. I'm about to continue my night. I'm Gucci. I'm in a good place right now. So this is what my future looks like. As of right now, this is what my future looks like. Me clapping for myself. And hopefully you do something in your present that you can clap for as well. Get out there and manifest. Get your pen out, get your paper out. Something to write with, something to write on. Manifest. Say it out loud. Say it over and over and over and over again. And actually work toward whatever goal that you got, whatever desires that you have for progression. Make your life what you want it to be. If your life not perfect, do something that can make it more perfect. It's up to you. I'm about to manifest this smoothie.